Good morning, good morning. Guys, if you're listening, you're really missing out today. I should probably acknowledge my appearance, hey. So, I was sick of my hair. Because it's just over, guys, I don't know what to do. Right, my hair's overgrown. I need to cut it realistically. I'm having a whole issue with facial hair and my skin, which we'll get into in another app. But I was sick of my hair. I hadn't brought a hat to my parents' house. I am pre-recording this episode, so when you see it, I'm not going to be at my parents' house anymore. But I didn't bring a hat, and my sister left a bunch of hats here because obviously she's now in Australia. So I decided to wear the most fucking ridiculous one I could find. And I think this one definitely takes the cake. Like, what the fuck was she thinking? Sorry, Leah. Sorry to drag you like this on a public platform, but what the fuck were you thinking buying this? Like, oh, God. But you know what? We're going to rock it today. Because we're going to do some Am I the Fucking Assholes? And I look like an asshole right now. Okay? Y'all know me. I love these. Now, I've not done one thus far for this new podcast, which is fucking crazy, guys. Because by this time, we should be maybe 17 episodes in or something. And I've not, first and foremost, I have not missed 1 week. Can we give it up? I know for some podcast hosts, that's not a big deal, right? But I feel like for some podcasts, obviously they have people producing it for them. It's through, like, they have a contract to do a certain amount and like whatever. Like they have other people telling them that they have to do it and stuff. This is just me. I just do it off my own back and my own will. But it's because I'm loving it. I fucking love sitting down and just chatting my shit into a microphone. I'm not gonna lie. It's really enjoyable for me, actually. So yeah, I'm really proud of myself, and I actually think the reason why I've not even missed a week or whatever is because obviously, one, I've had a bunch of shit to talk about, and I've almost delved into more like deep stuff with this podcast. And also, I think the thing that held me back before with my other podcast, The Kitchen Sink, if you're an OG, you'll know. The thing that held me back with that one is because obviously it was going on my main channel, like trying to fit that every Sunday within my hectic fucking schedule of not really knowing when I'm posting things was sometimes kind of irritating to always have to have an episode come out on a Sunday or whenever I used to put it up, because some days I'd be like, oh, well, I wanted to put a different video up that would probably would have done better, or that people have been wanting more on a Sunday. So it always kind of got in the way. But obviously now that this is on a completely different channel, it doesn't matter, does it? And obviously, yes, it's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and whatever else. So yeah, there is that. But just speaking solely from like the YouTube standpoint, the visual standpoint, it just fits. I'm so glad I made a second channel, guys. I love the second channel. It's so fun. The fucking gameplays are everything, right? Sorry, this is not what I need to be talking about in my first fucking 5 minutes of this pod. But anyway, we're just going to crack on in. I don't want to fuck around because I want to do a bunch. I want to do a bunch of Am I the Assholes today. And if you guys are new to this concept or you don't know what it is or whatever, I'll quickly update you. Basically, Am I the Asshole is a Reddit thread, like there is a bunch of them. We did the Today I Fucked Ups the other week. And basically the preface of this Reddit thread is people write in about certain scenarios that have happened in their life and how they maybe responded to certain things or whatever. And then it's kind of up to the audience to basically say if we think they're the arsehole in the situation or not. Okay, that's the whole preface. That's what we're doing here. So yeah, usually these are pretty juicy. So I guess strap on in. We're just going to scroll and see whichever ones pick my fancy, to be honest. Oh, see, already, guys, there's some spicy ones in terms of like the subject line. Like there's one here, 12 hours ago. Am I the asshole choosing daughter over husband? Let's fucking click it. It's got 2.1 thousand responses and it was only posted 12 hours ago. So That's pretty slay. My husband, male 64. Whoa, we're old. We're old maiden. Okay. And I, female 65. Oh, cute. Have been married for 20 years. He has 2 sons, Jason and Craig, both married, male 41 and 39. I have 2 daughters, Jenna and Kiara, both married, female 38 and 37. God, there's a lovely parallel here. I'm loving this. Like the two sides of this family are really slaying. All of our kids are independent and living on their own. His boys have families but don't live anywhere near us. My girls recently received an inheritance from their grandfather of close to 1 million each. So we're rich. Oh my God, good for these girls. They are being responsible with it. One is saving a big portion of it for retirement and her son's education. That's nice, but I mean, how much of a million do you need to save for your son's education? I guess if we're in America, education can be a fuck ton. And I think retirement is very responsible, but I would also be buying a house, and a lovely one at that, you know? Continuing. The other doesn't have kids and doesn't live near us. So this is about the one who lives close to us and has a preschool son, Kyle. All right. My husband has gotten very upset lately about the help I am giving Jenna with babysitting Kyle before preschool and in the afternoons 2 to 3 days a week. God, that's not even that much. What the fuck? Like my mum helps my sister out with her child. Obviously, they live under the same roof, but like obviously she's here helping them out every day, and like she loves it. Okay, he's been a bit stupid here. Although I guess maybe you are older, so it is like you're in your 60s. Do you really need to be helping your daughter? That's did you say 30 odd? Yeah, nearly 40. But if you want to, you know, who is he to say? Anyway, let's continue. He is a good eater and likes things that are driving up our food bill, maybe £40 to £50 a month. Husband resents me for not getting paid for the food and to a lesser degree my time. I think that the time thing, I think that's fair enough. Realistically, you're this girl's mum, right? I think as a parent in general, the vibe is very much like you're here to support your children whenever they need. Obviously, you don't need to, like after they've turned probably like 18, 21, I feel like you've done your job. But if you are happy to obviously spend some time and like help her out with taking care of the son, then I think that's fine. I do, however, think that you maybe should be compensated somewhat with, you know, the money that you're having to spend on your child's kid for the food, especially if it is, like you said, like kind of expensive, like an extra £50 a month. Like it doesn't hurt for her just to give you that, you know? Especially if she's been given a fucking inheritance. Jesus. Anyway. He says it isn't fair to his grandkids that they are not being treated fairly. I suggested he send the grandkids' parents money for treats each month. Okay, right. So he's like, well, you're treating this one kid on your side of the family, but what about the kids on my side of the family? All right, fucking weird. He wants me to charge Jenna and then not have to give his grandkids anything. I don't want to charge Jenna anything. I don't think that grandparents should charge for childcare or food. I mean, yeah, I don't think my grandma would charge my sister money to take care of the kid. But I don't know. Like it. The thing is, it to me it feels like he's more got an issue with the fact that you're doing this and spending this money, and you're both having to spend this money on a child that's from your side of the family, and he's more butthurt that the kids on his side of the family aren't getting it. That to me seems like the issue here. Not so much that you're doing it and the money, it's more that it's happening on your side and not his. in my opinion. But let's just continue, I suppose. He gets aggravated if he sees a new colouring book or markers here. He seethes with rage at times if I invite Jenna's family for a meal. He thinks Jenna, and to a lesser degree, Kiara, should be helping us instead of hoarding the money. He also gets very agitated about me not telling him if Kyle is going to be here. He says that he doesn't feel like it is his home and that I make all the decisions. He is threatening to break up our marriage over the disparity of unfairness of the situation. Okay, fuck me. This is interesting. I didn't see people having this issue when you're in your 60s. You're close to dying. What are you causing these problems for? Just live in peace, man. If it's not hurting you, if you've got the money to spend on it, let your wife do what she wants to do, you know? Anyway, continuing. Some info on our finances. Money isn't plentiful, but we both have pretty good pensions. After our bills are paid, we have between $2,000 and $3,000 a month to spend on groceries, gas, and other miscellaneous expenses. £2,000 to £3,000 on just like living a month. I think you're doing okay. Now, I know things are like getting more expensive these days with like, you know, inflation and whatnot, but I think 2,000 to 3,000, I think you can afford a colouring book without him bursting a blood vessel. We have very minimal savings. He travels to see his grandkids maybe 2 to 3 times a year. One he flies to see, and the other he takes the train or drives. Averages out maybe £500 a trip. I don't travel at all. See, this is a thing, sir. You're spending £500 at a time, 2 to 3 times a year. So you can say £1,500 a year to go and travel to see people on your side of the family, whereas she doesn't have to travel at all. So is it not fair that, like, the money that you get to spend traveling, which realistically I know you kind of have to do to be able to see them, so I guess that is maybe unfair of me to say, but it's not harming anything if she is able to spend some money on her grandkids, you know? Because I'm sure, like, if she wanted to be petty, she could be like, oh, well, rather than you spending that £1,500 a month, a year, to go and see them, make them come here. If she wanted to be petty, she could do that. He thinks I am the asshole because I'm willing to risk our marriage over this. If we divorce, we will have to sell our house and neither of us will be able to afford to live the standard we have now. Am I the asshole? This is a weird one because I think this is, like I said, I don't know if the money is necessarily the issue. Because realistically, it's not like you're literally living on the poverty line. Like, it's not like you have no extra income to fuck around with after you've like paid off like bills and house and everything a month, you know? Like, it's not like you've got nothing to live on. You've got £2,000 to £3,000, which is a good amount of money a month. And the fact that she said that realistically, all she ends up spending on him in terms of like the food, at least, this child, when she looks after him, is up to £50 a month. You can't spare £50 a month out of the potentially 3,000 you have to mess with on her grandchild. I don't think you're the arsehole in this situation. I really don't. First of all, I think 2 to 3 times out of the week to be helping out with a kid that realistically you should want to see. You should want to, like my grandma loves seeing her grandkids. Like, loves it. Like, you should want to see your grandkids, and it should be, I don't know, like, I don't understand why he's resenting your side of the family so much. I think he's the asshole here for sure. Let's read some responses. Not the asshole, someone's put. You sound like a great mum and grandma. Your husband is the one risking your marriage over $50 a month. Period. That's what I'm saying. He needs to get a grip, and he needs to let us know why he's resenting your side of the family so much. You are doing a kind and generous thing for your family, and he's weaponizing it. Period. He is the one not treating the grandkids fairly. He sounds like a mean and bitter child. Imagine how wonderful your life would be without him. Whoa. You could love your family without him throwing tantrums and crying. What about me? This is the thing. When he was like, oh, I don't like that you're giving this to him and my grandkids get nothing. First of all, I don't understand why we're splitting up the family, right? We're all in this together, right? I don't understand that. But at the same time, your first response was, well, let's take the same money that I give this kid and give the same amount to your grandkids. Problem solved. And he didn't want to do it. He seems like an old, grumpy fart. He does. He's obviously also, this is probably what it is. He's obviously also harboring bitter greed over the fact that the daughter's inherited 1 million and he hasn't seen any of it. This guy's disgusting. That's probably what it is. Because the girls on your side of the family, your daughters, have received 1 million each from, did she say their granddad? So your dad, I think? They've received 1 million. And yeah, his side have obviously got nothing because they've not inherited anything. And they're like, this family is obviously very split. You know, like you've obviously got your own kids before you got together. Like it's not you've had kids together, right? So obviously it makes sense that his side of the family don't have anything. So yeah, he's just probably annoyed that they've got this inheritance and you guys are still having to pay little bits here and there, like £50 a month, which is not much, guys. It's really not much in the grand scheme. Just so you can spend time with your grandson, which I imagine you want to do anyway. Like it's a pleasure for you to do so, you know? Anyway, guys, I think overall we've kind of cracked that one. You're not the fucking arsehole and your husband is an idiot. Old idiot. Oh, God. Guys, this one says, am I the asshole for yelling at my SIL, sister-in-law, son-in-law, at my wedding? And imagine sister-in-law, maybe? Oh, my God. Let's see what we said. Because, guys, weddings, they do bring out the worst in people, I will say this. We could probably do a whole wedding episode of this because I feel like summer is kind of like the peak for weddings and like people getting married and whatnot. So if you guys would be interested in like a wedding edition to this, where we just talk about like wedding scenarios from someone who, you know, has been 6 years single, then let me know. But first of all, let's get into this one. Am I the asshole for yelling at my sister-in-law or son-in-law? I'm not sure. At my wedding. My wife and I had a destination wedding in Scotland, so her family could attend and hopefully inspire our friends and family here in the US to travel and explore the world. Worked really well, in brackets. Love that. Yeah, why not? I'd love to go to Scotland. I won't be trying haggis, though. Would not be trying haggis. I'm so sorry. We love Scotland and had a beachfront wedding in the Highlands. Oh my God, I imagine that was beautiful. The weather was absolutely perfect. We could have not asked for a more perfect day. Oh, well, that sounds wonderful. Wonder. Okay. Before our wedding, we worked with my parents to watch our 1-year-old daughter over our wedding night. Okay. We got the hotel to get them the biggest room closest to the wedding venue, and we planned to have my 10-year-old brother be in the room watching my 3-year-old. Adopted brother and my 1-year-old daughter with my parents checking in every 15 minutes. They don't drink, so we thought that this was perfect. During the dinner party turnaround, sister-in-law, okay, so it's sister-in-law, SIL, asked me where my daughter was and if she can check on her. My daughter was down for the night as she missed her nap, and I kindly responded, thank you, but no, she's asleep and my parents are watching her, but thank you for your concern. I think that was totally valid. Why would she need to check on her after that? Hopefully she's just like taken that into consideration, but I imagine she's not. Flash forward to around 11 p.m. I found out my sister-in-law followed my parents back to their room and then told my 10-year-old brother that we sent her to check on my daughter. He knew her and let her in, and she decided she needed to take my daughter out of the room. When I found her, she had woken my daughter up and was making her dance when she was clearly tired around 11:30 p.m. I calmly asked her for my daughter back. I was visibly angry with her, and when she handed her over, she threw her hands up in the air in defense and said, "Your wife said I could." I blew up. What the fuck is that all about? So you're telling me this woman, she comes up to you, she asks where your daughter is, right? You're like, she's down for a nap, she's really tired, she missed a nap, she's down for the night. I'd prefer you didn't, because it's realistically, when you've got a child, a young child, it's more important that they get their fucking sleep than being an entertaining little pig, you know? Don't know why I said pig. What's the word for like a little entertaining thing? I don't know, whatever. A pig, I guess. So you tell her no and say, look, like, I'd rather you didn't. My parents are watching her. She's totally fine. We've got your brother, 10-year-old brother, that's also there looking after her. Like, it's not like she's being left alone or anything. People are there looking out for her. Please don't. She then goes behind your back and asks, obviously, your wife, which is obviously like her sister, I guess, if she can, and she says yes, so then she goes and does it. That's so fucking snaky. What? Let's read the last bit here. I yelled at her in front of the whole wedding. I told you that you couldn't. You have never respected me as her father. And like a child, you ran to mum for permission after dad said no. She cried uncontrollably the rest of the night, looking for attention from anyone that would give it her. Now, realistically, I can see how maybe this looked like an over-exaggeration on your part, because realistically, it is your wedding day. Maybe you didn't have to scream at her in front of the whole wedding because you've kind of tainted the whole night. But the thing that's getting me is you've put in that part, you have never respected me as her father. To me, I see this maybe have been like a reoccurring thing where like she's never really respected your wishes. Like she's always just gone to your wife to ask things, kind of goes against your word, doesn't give a fuck what you think, you know? Like obviously, like, it's normal, I guess, to obviously speak more to and whatever to the person on your side of the family who's part of this relationship, you know? So it's understandable that she's going to speak more to your wife, given the fact that she's on her side of the family. But it's very fucked up of her to completely discount what you have said, like, and ran to his wife and been like, can I go and see your daughter? And not even, I'm assuming probably not even mention that you'd said no because you'd rather her just get a good sleep. What the fuck? I feel sorry for this kid, man. This woman is crazy. Let's see what people are saying. The first person's put, not an ideal reaction, but then if someone removed my kid from my hotel room, I'd call the cops. So maybe I'm not the best judge of how to keep the peace with a family member who would do something that stupid. That's also a big T. Like, imagine going back to your hotel room, finding that your child's not there and freaking the fuck out. Oh, that would send me into a spiral. So I actually can probably understand why you'd scream at her, just out of pure anxiety and worry. Like, not knowing where your child is. See, some people are saying that obviously, like, he had a 10-year-old watching a child, and obviously, like, a 10-year-old is not suitable childcare for your kid. So, yeah, not great on that front. I didn't even think about that the person that they had watching the kid was 10 years old. That is fucked up. Yeah, not the best, because I'm now trying to think of like how immature a 10-year-old can be, and the answer is very immature, and yeah, not suitable to be taking care of a kid. You know, if it had said like the 10-year-old and the parents were looking after the kid, then that's a different ballgame, you know. But the fact that the parents of his weren't just looking after the kid, then that's fucked. Yeah, that's fucked. Okay, but still, that doesn't negate the stupidity on this other woman's part. I think, yeah, someone's kind of put like this whole thing is kind of fucked up. Like the whole thing is wild. Oh, guys, we've got an update. The original poster updated. My wife and in-laws were furious and embarrassed by me as this happened in front of the entire family. My wife and I fought the entire way back to her grandparents. She knew my problems with the sister-in-law and brother-in-law before, but seemed to only focus on my reaction. So this is the thing. I think this is also something to note. I don't know if like the actual thing that she did was the thing that was like the thing that pissed you off the most. I think it was just the straw that broke the camel's back, as it were, you know? Oh, a part of it might have been the Scotch whiskey talking, so he was also relatively drunk. Yikes. At her grandparents' house, I got that 6-on-1 lecture and apologised for 20 minutes before I gave up and simply asked, do you know what drugs your children do daily, let alone when they come around our daughter? We are her parents and we raise her. How we raise her is our decision. Get your house in order before you tell me how to lead mine. Oh my God, so this lady was potentially drugged up too. So that's also going to be another thing that is going to be stressed about. Realistically, I think all in all, we don't even need to carry on. I think this whole thing, like one of the people had said, it's kind of all a mess. Realistically, there should have been an adult looking after your child first and foremost. This woman should not have gone to your wife behind your back and asked her if she can go and see the kid. She shouldn't have woken the kid up. The kid should not have been like a performing monkey. That's what I meant earlier. The kid should not have been a performing monkey at fucking 11:30 p.m. And you maybe shouldn't have screamed in front of the whole family at a wedding. I think everyone's a little bit of the arsehole here. And I think in general, let's just get the kids some proper childcare and let's all mind our own fucking business. Okay, let's do another one. Oh my God. So this one says, am I the asshole for letting someone skip my bachelorette party and not telling them the new details that would have changed their mind? Oh, so just first and foremost, before we actually get in, I'm assuming this is going to be very much like you were planning on doing something for your bachelorette party that maybe this person wasn't necessarily interested in. You changed the plans, but you ultimately didn't want them there anyway, so you didn't really care, so you didn't tell them the new plan. Oh my God, that's kind of shady, but we'll see what the vibes are and if it was valid, because people have voted not the assholes, so I will be the judge of that. Let's go. Apologies in advance, as I had a hard time writing the situation in a single sentence. Well, you clearly haven't. There's fucking paragraphs here. My brother has been trying to push me to get closer to his girlfriend, Mary. Oh my God, I call my dilemmas Mary and Joseph and Eve and whatnot. Together 3 months. Okay, I've done my best to get to know her, initiating dinners, trying her hobbies with her, etc. But we honestly just don't get along. Okay, then. This makes sense. Now, this kind of like relates to I think it was a dilemma one of you guys sent in a previous episode where you were kind of saying like your brother broke up with someone, they're now with this new person, you're struggling to find the willpower to like give her a chance essentially, which can be a thing, especially like if they're like a new girlfriend, boyfriend, and if they have been like in and out of relationships quite a bit. Like I've had that feeling before, I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, let's get into it. I personally think she's a snob. Oh my God. She complimented my designer bag, but took the compliment back when she found out it was thrifted. The fuck? As in literally said, yikes, I take that back. What? Because I'm, reusing something that would have ended up in a fucking landfill. I'm helping the planet, and just because it's not brand new and didn't maybe cost me the original price of probably thousands of pounds, it's not up to your standard, you prissy fuck. Okay, I already don't like this bitch. While she thinks I lack culture and sophistication, in brackets, also something she's mentioned when trying to convince me to do a makeover with her. Okay. The issue is I'm getting married this year and my brother has been really trying to get her involved. I put my foot down with the bridal party since they've only been dating for 3 months and I don't know her. Period. Because how do you know? Give it 2 more months after the wedding. They might have split up and then, your wedding pictures, your whole vibe of your wedding is going to be slightly tainted because there's going to be someone in all the fucking pictures that isn't even in the pictures. Oh, to be fair, that's kind of the tea with my family in some of the pictures for some of our weddings. Oops, I guess that's just one of those things that you never know, you know? But anyway, not ideal, especially if it's only been fucking 3 months. The thing is, I say it's kind of been like that with my family, but the person that was in the family pictures and whatnot had been in our lives for 6 years. So, yeah, not 3 months. So I'm already on board with what you're saying here. But he insisted that I invite her to the bachelorette party. It was originally supposed to be a super low-key and local. Mary tried to push for something more extravagant, but it really wasn't in my budget when I wouldn't budge. She told us something came up that weekend and she couldn't go. Okay, slay. Perfect. I don't understand why she feels like she has any fucking say in what you do for your bachelorette party. If I'm sorry, if a God, it's guys, this is the wedding episode. I'm sorry if I'm part of like a bachelorette or whatever or a fucking bachelor party, and they come to me and say I really want to do this, I'm not then gonna be like, actually, I think we should go up the Shard. I think we should actually fly somewhere. I think we should actually go on holiday. Fuck off. This is her day, bitch. I was later surprised by my friends who had come together to organise a lavish weekend through favours and points, i.e. one of my friend's aunts works for a spa, so she was able to get discounted packages. Another used her travel points to book a suite, etc. See, that's what we love. We love getting together and making this work. Right? And I low-key understand why you didn't tell her. I was not told about this and was truly and happily surprised. Right, so you didn't even know beforehand. So how could you have told her anyway? So it's really not your fault at all. The issue is that Mary found out when we posted pictures and she was pissed. My brother is now saying that I deliberately left her out, but she told me she was busy. Period. So she lied it's very clear that she lied and said that she was busy when realistically she just didn't want to do the low key thing with you guys, but was only interested if she could benefit from, you know, a lavish time, indulge in some niceness. You know, like, I'm sure she would have been all about it. She'd have cancelled whatever those plans were, those fake plans, if it meant she was going to be able to go to a lovely spa and get pampered. Of course she fucking would. Mary said that if she had known what the weekend was like, though, she would have rearranged her schedule. I feel conflicted because I suspect that my friends didn't tell Mary on purpose, but they're claiming they made these plans after Mary bowed out and didn't reach back out since she was busy. My brother still says I should have double-checked and made more of an effort to let Mary know my plans, so I figured I'd ask the internet for their thoughts. I'm sorry. Fuck this. Realistically, if she was that gung-ho about being a part of your bachelorette party, why did she not rearrange the plans anyway, regardless of what you were doing? She only wanted to be a part of it now because it was more on the lavish side, which is what she initially wanted. Like, basically, her bowing out and being like, oh, I'm busy, has really backfired on her ass because realistically, she's missed out of being a snob, is what I'm hearing, you know? And I just think it is what it is. Like, realistically, it doesn't seem to me like she necessarily cared about being a part of your bachelorette party. To me, it just screamed that she wanted to do something lavish and, like, expensive, you know? And, like, that's all she was there for. Realistically, you should be there to be with the soon-to-be bride, like getting excited for the wedding, you know, like doing some pampering together, whatever that may be. You like, if I get invited to a bachelorette party or bachelor party, whatever, I'm not like deciding whether I do it or I don't based on how extravagant or lavish it is. That shouldn't matter. That shouldn't have been the deciding factor for her, and that's what it screams to me, that's what it was for her. She only wanted to be a part of it when she knew it was something that she'd enjoy, you know, which is fucked up. And also, you've known her 3 months. Really? Your bachelorette party is usually for people that, like, are, like, your closest friends, in my opinion. And, like, your mum, maybe your sisters, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, let's read some responses. Not the asshole. Your brother needs to back off. You don't need to be his snooty girlfriend's bestie. You extended an invitation to your bachelorette. She declined the invitation, saying she had other plans. Your friend surprised you with a spa weekend. This situation falls into the category of not your problem. If Miss Snooty Patooty's schedule was too busy for the night, for a night at Dave and Buster's, she's still too busy for a spa weekend. Your brother is delusional if he thinks his girlfriend matters to anyone but him. Period. Like, this is what I was trying to say. Like, it shouldn't matter what the plans were. Either you want to be there or you don't. You don't change your plans or cancel things if the bachelorette more suits you, you know? Because the bachelorette and the plans aren't the thing you should be there for. You should be there for the bachelorette, regardless of whatever it is. You know? Fucked up, man. You're not the arsehole. She's just a fucking prick. Not the arsehole. Where does Mary get off claiming that you deliberately left her out after she told you she was busy? If she's busy and wouldn't be able to attend. If she really wasn't busy, she lied. Either way, she hasn't got a leg to stand on here. She is a snob, which she proved when she complimented your handbag but took it back when she found out it came secondhand. It's the same bag, Mary. The same bag. This woman's priorities are wrong. You can only hope your brother wakes up to the nonsense soon and leaves her behind. Period. I'm sorry. First, like, even just the fact that you've known her 3 months and don't get along with her that well and find her snobby, that's enough. That's enough to not allow her to be at your bachelorette party anyway. You were nice enough to invite her. You know, that was you extending the olive branch. She said she's busy. Perfect. I'm sorry, why would you reach out again being like, oh, actually, are you sure you're busy? When you didn't even fucking know that the plans had changed. And also, why the fuck would your friends reach out to this bitch when I'm sure they know that you don't really like her? They probably knew in your best interest, in your best, like, you guys were probably much more excited to go and do whatever once she'd bowed out. So why the fuck would your friends? Because the thing is, guys, here's the thing. I've got my thoughts all over the place here. Your friends have got no loyalty to this bitch. The only reason why you asked her to come in the first place was to be nice to your brother because he asked you to. You know, these friends have got no reason to want to do that because they don't know her. They don't have to invite her anywhere. They probably don't like her either. Anyway, let's do one last one. Guys, these are so fucking fun. I love this. Ooh. This one says, am I the asshole for yelling at my mum because she ate the food that I bought with my money? Oh, already, instantly no. Instantly no. Depends. If like she's coming over and she's like staying a while, fair enough, you can munch on some of my chocolate. Right? I can be a good host. But we'll see where we go here, because the consensus is not the asshole. So let's see. Our fridge is usually close to empty. There's always condiments, eggs, and some sort of shredded cheese. Honestly, same, to be honest. I might have butter in there. There's butter. There's some almond milk. There's maybe a few condiments from like Mackey's that I've saved, you know. There's my Brita filter, of course. Usually some like meal prep in there because I usually tend to meal prep. So I get that. Usually cream for coffee too, which I sometimes use for cereal. That's wild. You use cream for your cereal. Okay. The pantry is full of dried pasta, Cheerios, and granola bars that are strictly for my sister. My dad locks away all the good food for himself. Oh my God. You live in the house with your parents still. You've not moved out. This is what this is, isn't it? I don't know why I assumed like we'd have his own place. But no, I already know where this is going to go. You're going to have bought food for yourself in the family home, and your mum's going to have eaten it. Oh, I'd be furious. My dad locks away all of the good food for himself and wears the key around his neck like fucking Zoe 101. Never seen Zoe 101, but what the fuck is that behaviour? This is some strict-ass household that I don't love. So there's nothing really to make besides scrambled eggs, cereal, or pasta. Yeah, I should be grateful that there's food at all, but I'm sorry, I just can't live off those things. Plus, I have a really sensitive stomach, so a lot of dairy and gluten will destroy my stomach. Babes, You're on my wavelength. We need our own stuff, you know? Like we need specific things. Like we need our almond milk. We need our gluten-free treats, our vegan moments, you know? I am so on board. Carrying on. Yesterday, I bought my own food and left it in the fridge. Oh my god, that's your first mistake right there. You should have locked it away. Okay? Take a leaf out of your dad's book, lock it away. Starved myself all day for as long as possible so I could eat towards the end of the day to not go to bed hungry. Oh, God. I got a big enough meal to eat half last night and half tonight. I don't make enough money to buy solid meals for myself all the time, so I was really looking forward to not eating the same old thing yet again. I opened the fridge today when I was hungry to the point of vomiting, and the majority of my food was gone. Oh my god, the way I would be furious. Because the thing is, it's not even just anger. Guys, that's hangry. You're hungry angry. That's a new level of anger, that is. Especially like, because it realistically, I think it's very fucked up that your parents just don't get more food in. And I understand maybe we're not doing well financially, which is completely understandable, but if your dad can afford to buy nice, good food, but locks it away, then that's very fucked up of them, first of all. So it's really sad that you have to buy your own stuff with the little money that you do have, because I imagine you're relatively young. You have to allow yourself to starve for the majority of the day just so you can make sure you get to have one good solid meal at the end of the day. And then to find that it's been eaten, oh my god, I would commit murder. I would. Maybe a bite or two left, but nothing I could actually get full off of. So naturally, I got pissed because I'm starving. I paid for it with the little money I have in the first place, and my mum didn't even ask. So I walked into her home office and asked her if she ate my food. Her argument was that she thought it was old from days ago when she literally knows I came home with it last night. Okay, so lying. I even got her something too, which she ate for dinner last night. Oh my god, so not only are you buying things for yourself to make sure that you're eating better, you're also getting food for your mum, and she eats yours too. Oh my god, your family are awful. I'm sorry, Queen. Then I got even more mad, saying I'm starving and haven't eaten anything for over 24 hours. She started bawling her eyes out, and Dad started screaming at me for being overdramatic. How the fuck am I being overdramatic when I've bought myself food I have not eaten for over 24 hours, and your wife, my mum, has eaten the food that I bought her and my food that I bought myself? How am I the one being overdramatic? If anything, I think I'm valid. Oh god, this is a toxic environment for this family. Because of course she's going to cry now because she probably does feel bad. But you should have felt bad when you were eating your daughter's food that she'd paid for. Then she dramatically left the house saying she's going to blow off work for the rest of the day to go and get me the same meal. As she should. My dad ran out and took the keys from her before she could leave, then came inside saying she's crying. Your dad seems like a piece of shit. At least your mum was about to, make amends for the mistake that she'd made. Yes, it was fucked up and she probably shouldn't have done it in the first place. But the fact that your dad, first of all, locks away all the good food from you all and wears a key round his neck, that's one thing. But to not even allow her to rectify the mistake that she'd made is even more fucked up, and he's awful. So not only did she eat my food, she guilt-tripped me and made me feel like I'm the reason why she's not going to make any money today. No, that's her fault. Because she ate my food that I starved myself for. I think I feel extra guilty because we get along well, but this isn't the first time it's happened. Oh my god, it's a repeat offence. When I told my sister, she sighed and rolled her eyes because this has happened to her too, with the same excuse. What is this family? Get out of there now. All I know is that I'm mad, feel guilty, and have extremely low blood sugar, so I might just sleep it off or something. Am I the asshole for reacting the way I did? Oh my god. This is absolutely wild and crazy. This is a very toxic and awful home environment. It really is. She's put, edit, for everyone asking, I'm an adult and my sister is an adult, so there's no need for CPS. Okay, so people are going to try and get the family people involved, like parental control, whatever. We're both starting out college at two kind of local universities, and we're still at home, but we live in an expensive area, so it would be really hard to move out considering I make less than minimum wage and rely on tips while she's too busy to have a job at all. Right. My mother and I are pretty close, but she's really stressed out and anxious, so I think she has some sort of stress eating issue or something. She's really checked out from constantly working. I'm not going to call anyone on her or my dad because we won't snitch on our family. I don't know how else to put it when it comes to that, especially legal authorities. My dad is another story, a really stressful, gut-wrenching, awful story that I don't have time to unpack. I would like to thank everyone for showing concern and kindness towards me. I really do appreciate it. I'm currently saving up to transfer to a school in Europe, then maybe just stay there. I'm sad to leave my sister, but she said that she plans on joining me there as soon as possible. Yeah, I think in general, I imagine your parents do just have some certain issues that they need to work on. But this is one of those situations where, like, not to be completely mean, and I understand that obviously parents, you don't always know what you're getting yourself into when you have kids. But I feel like these are the kind of parents that don't have kids if you're not going to be able to be a good parent and, you know, at least provide food for your kids, regardless of their age. Like, I feel like fair enough if they're over 18, whatever. Like, I guess if they're working jobs, then yes, I guess they should probably provide for themselves a little bit more. But I think just the fact that your dad locks away food shows me that it's not like they're necessarily strapped for cash, because I think he is still buying things in, but he locks them away so then you and your sister can't have any, but then gets mad when you buy your own food and you get mad that your mum eats it. Like, the logic is just not there. And I understand that maybe your family have issues and problems and your mum is obviously like, God knows what, has some sort of eating problem. I get that. I almost have a bit more sympathy for the mum, because when obviously like she was confronted about it, she was going to go and she was going to rectify the issue and like figure something out and like replenish the meal, whatever. So then her daughter wasn't starving. And that's why I think I have even less respect for the dad, because one, he locked stuff away and stopped her from rectifying it, which is even more fucked up. Overall, I think definitely prioritize moving out as soon as possible, to be completely honest, because this is not a good family dynamic in any way. I think at the very least, even as a parent who is strapped for cash, I think at the very least, if you care at all about your kids, regardless of their age, you should want them to at least be able to live and eat. You know, simple things to survive, I think, at the bare minimum. Regardless of your child's situation, and especially when, like, they always live under your roof and they're not working some big-time job or whatever, like, you should just want to make sure that your child survives and eats. So I think, yeah, all in all, this family dynamic is just not it. And I do hope you get to college in Europe soon and you're on to bigger and better things, because it's very unfortunate that something as important as food is something you don't even have. And when you do have it, your family just don't give a fuck. It's really wild to me. But anyway, I think we're going to leave that here, because I think I've done 4, right? I think I did 4. So yeah, guys, these are so fun. I will be continuing to do more. I know you guys enjoy them. I enjoy them. If you've made it to this point and you want to submit a confession, because I would like to do like kind of similar to what we do with like the dilemmas, but I want to like read your confessions and kind of just like talk about your confessions. Obviously everything will be kept anonymous, no names, nothing. Please either email them in at hello.morningglorypod@gmail.com. So please feel free to email in any confessions or dilemmas, because I'll be doing another dilemma episode soon. But yeah, for now, I'm going to leave you guys here, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode, as I've enjoyed making it, and I will see you soon next week with another ep. Goodbye.